Hello dear friends, in this video we'll learn everything about the LeaderTask organizer. Well, let's begin. As you can see, the software has three areas. The navigator, where you can find the calendar and some points of the navigator as the today section, the inbox, the assigned tasks and projects. Then you can see the area of the task list, and here you can see the timeline. Well, let's create the task list for today. To do it, let's click at the today point of the navigator or in the day in the calendar, and let's click at the add task button, and let's type in the first task. And the second one, you can just click at this area and start typing, so the task will be created. And one more, you can also use the context menu, so you just right click at the task list and click at the add task, or you can use also the button insert. And one more task today. Well, some tasks can have different steps to be completed, so you can add also subtasks. To do it, right click at the parent task and choose add subtask, or push the hotkey combination Alt plus insert. And you can also add some more subtasks. So this way you can create a task and divide it into small steps. Well, let's have a look how can you rename a task. There are several ways to do it. For example, you can double click slowly the task name and rename it, and push the enter button. Or you can use the F2 button of your keyboard, or you just can right click the task and choose the rename point of the menu, and you can change anything you need. What if you have created a task by a mistake? For example, you or your cat start typing on the keyboard and you have created a task you don't need, or you decided not to finish today. You can just delete this task. You can do it in the context menu, choosing the point of the menu, or you can just push the delete button and then confirm. Well, you can also change the sequence of your tasks for today. To do it, click at the task, push the control button, and holding it, push the arrow down or up button. You can also change the sequence for a big one. So also choose the parent task and push the control button and use the arrows up and down. So you can see that the entire task list is moving. Additional text, and the text cannot be edited. I mean, if you need to change its font or its you can only change its size. To do it, just click at the control button and roll up or down at your mouse. So this way you can change only this size of the description. But if you want to change its font, etc., you need to attach a node. So you can click here and choose add node. Here you can add your description, and in this description you can change anything you need. You can make it bold, italic, underlined, overcrossed, and so on. You can also change its color, and you can change the font itself. You can change its size, so the node will be completed, and then you have finished it. You can click here and save changes. It is obligatory not to forget to save the changes. So you can see that to the task by this icon, you can see it has some comment, and by this icon you can see that it has an attached file. So this file it can be opened and edited. Well, if you need to rename this file, you can right click the file and choose rename file. You can also delete it and save as in a different place, not in LeaderTask, for example. Well, this panel you can also make bigger if you have a lot of details to describe, or smaller, so you can even hide it. So when the task has a description, you can double click it and see what you have to do regarding this task. Well, concerning the font size, you can change it also in the task list. So just hold the control button and roll up or down at your mouse. So you can do it bigger or smaller. The same way you can change the font size, not the font size, but the timeline. You can change the timeline in the timetable here. Also holding the control button and rolling up and down. Okay, as you can have prepared the task list for today, you can also prepare the task list for Monday and any other day. So you just select the day and add the tasks. Well, you can add tasks for any day of the week and for days off as well. So you can see that here you can have tasks for Monday and Saturday and so on. And in the calendar you can also see some small dots, some small orange dots under the date. So it means that this date has tasks. Well, you can also add a task not only in this month but also in some further month. To do it, you can just move this line, hold and move right, and you can see here some more month, or you can click here and roll some month further. So you can add a task even for January. Just add the task to this day and so on. To set the date for a task, you can also use the context menu, and here you can find term and select, and you can also find any other points of the menu. For example, today, tomorrow, Monday, or plus 3 days, plus week, plus month, or you can also reset the date. If you reset the date, the task will come back in the inbox. Well, you can select, and here you can see the window where you can also roll months. Here it is shown by 2, and you can select any month you need, and you can set the date for this task for the 1st of the January. And okay, well, let's get back to the today. Well, if the day comes to its end and you see that you not in time with a task, you can move its date for any other day. So you need to feel that the day was done well and you have finished all tasks, and the task you have not completed, you need to move to any other days. So you can just hold it with the left mouse button and move it to Monday. Or you can right click and change its term in the menu, as I have already shown. Okay, we have planned the task for today, for some other days, for a day in some months, and now we have created already many tasks, and now we want to have a look at the entire list of these tasks. So to show it, you can double click at the top of any task list and to choose in this menu uh, the point all tasks, or you can use the hotkey combination Ctrl plus Shift plus A, or you can just click with the middle button of your mouse at the top of a task list. So this way you can see the entire task list of all tasks you have created in LeaderTask. Well, you can also remark that here you can find the in point of the navigator. What is the in point? The in point means the inbox. In inbox you can place any time of the day, you can place here all your ideas, everything that comes in your head, everything that comes to your mind, you can place here. Ideas, tasks and notes. For example, you have heard something about a restaurant on a roof. You just click on the inbox as you have not decided yet when you go there and whether you want to see it or not. You just click at task and type it in the inbox. Well, the inbox means that to the end of the day here you have to find and to decide anything about all your ideas, notes and tasks that are not planned yet. Well, every evening you need to decide what to do with this task. For example, the evening comes or the end of the workday comes and you decide that the restaurant or at the roof, you will decide something about that tomorrow, and you just move it to a date. Well, now you can see that to the right you have the timeline. It is like a paper organizer. To have a look, if you need to use only this timeline, you can move it left, holding the left mouse button, and you can also hide the navigator. Well, to hide the navigator, you can just push the and hold the control button and push the E button. Well, you can here see the timeline starting at 8 and finishing at 7. Well, you can change its line to have some more minutes listed in hour using the control button, holding it and rolling up or down the mouse. Well, this area is needed to plan your meetings, your fixed by time tasks, and so on. If you have some meeting in your today plan, for example, planning is the meeting and you have it strictly, for example, at 2. Well, you can change its duration by holding this line and moving it down or up with the mouse, or you can change the timeline and also plan it more precisely, and so on. Well, you can plan not only one day, but also any other number of days. For example, you can choose here 3 days, or 5 days, or even a week, or 2 weeks, or a month. Month is the biggest number of days you can select here. To plan month, you'd better hide the navigator and make it like this. Or you can also select how many days you want to choose. So you just click here and here and select. If you select the number of days more than 2 weeks, you receive the entire month. But if you choose fewer days, for example 4, you can see 4 days. Well, let's get back to today. And well, if you decide to plan some tasks for a couple of days, you can select today and then you can select, for example, 3 days, and you can move. For example, you can move a task if you decided not to do it today. For example, planning, you can't do it today and you decide to do it tomorrow. You can just drag and drop this task for tomorrow in your timeline. But what if you need to plan a task in your timeline, but in a month, for example? You just select the task and drag and drop it here to the top and select the day you need, seeing the a great number of days. Well, you select the day you need and move it here. Well, let's get back to today. Alright, we have see what you can do in your timeline, and now we can see that for a task, for example, take documents, you can select an exact term in time. The time you can set in the timeline, or you can customize it, the properties of the task. So you right click at the task, you select properties, term, and you here can set the term for just right now to have a look how does a reminder work. Well, when you set the reminder, we need just to wait when it works. So you can see that here. Well, you can see here the reminder, and you can change it in some minutes, or just move the date, or you can even change the status of the task. For example, if you have already completed it, you can change it for completed, or you can move to the task. Sometimes you need to get the reminder before its date, before the date of the task, so you can customize it here. So main menu, settings, reminders, and before start in minutes. You can here select the minutes you need, and you need to know that this customization means that all tasks will be reminded 5 minutes before its actual date. Well, talking about the statuses of the tasks. Well, to change its status, here you can see it, a little icon to the left of a task. You can just click it and select not started, in progress, on hold, cancelled, completed, or note. Note status is for these tasks that are not tasks but contain some information. For example, just a simple note. Or if this is a task, you can start it choosing the progress, or hold it if you don't have something to start it, or you can cancel it. If you cancel it, the task will disappear, and you can also find it only in the hidden tasks, clicking the Ctrl and H button. And if you accidentally make it cancelled, you can show it and change its status for not started. Well, for example, on Monday you got a task report, and when you have done it, you can attach a file to this task. For example, the report itself, you can click here, attach file, or you can select the properties of the task and attach it here. No matter, you can click just add file, and you can select any type of files and attach it. So you can see that the file is attached. You can rename it, you can delete it, you can save it as a separate file, or you can open it by just clicking. So the file is empty yet, but you can write something in this file and save. Well, the file, when you attach a file, the software makes a copy of this file, so you can not be disturbed that your files could be disappeared or something else. The copy of this task of the file is attached to the task. You can also attach a screen or a screen photo of your monitor, so you can just push the print screen, so the screenshot is now in the clipboard, and you can just push the Ctrl plus V button, and the screenshot will be attached to the file, and you can click on it and it will be opened in the built-in previewer. Okay, sometimes you have some tasks that are more important than others. So to highlight them, you can choose its color. You can right click at the task, you can choose the marker, and you can add the marker you need in the markers library. For example, you can name it by its color. For example, red. You select here the font color and the highlight. For example, like this. And OK. So you can see that here you have created a new marker or just a color, and you select it and you click OK. So you can see that the task prepare everything is now highlighted, and the task is to be seen first of all tasks. If you have decided that you don't need this marker, you can reset it. So just click at the properties of the task and here to remove it. Or you can, if you have selected the marker like this, you can reset it also here in the context menu. What if some tasks must be highlighted by a marker which you use for same tasks? For example, a meeting or planning or presentation. If you have decided that all tasks that mean a meeting with people you highlight red, you can rename the marker or the color. So you can go to the library markers in the main menu and you can right click at the marker you need and select properties and change its name, for example meetings, and OK. Well, presentation means that you meet some people, so you can select the marker you need, that is called meetings. When you have many markers, you can customize them all in the library markers, so you can choose their sequence by pushing and holding the control button and arrows. You can make the blue marker to the top. Let's rename it in English. OK. And now you can see that when you select the marker, the blue one is on the top. What if you delete a marker? For example, you select the marker red, and here you can see that you had some tasks, for example, highlighted red. What if you delete this marker? When you delete this marker, the tasks what were highlighted by this marker are resetted. They are not highlighted yet. Okay, the other interesting point of the software. Let's go to the database and tags. What are tags? Tags are some particularities of the task. For example, there are tasks that are really urgent or really important. So you can add a tag and call it important and choose its color as red. Okay, and you can also add the urgent tag and highlight it with yellow, and you can describe it that these are very urgent tasks, or any other description of the tag. Well, when you have prepared some tags, you can attach them to the task. For example, make agree with the chief. To sign the agreement, you have to urgently make it agree with the chief. So you right click the tags and choose its tag important or urgent. What if you need to make it both urgent and important? So you right click the task, select tags, then select, and you mark both of them. So you can see that the task is marked by important and urgent and any other tag you need. And you can also reset